All right. Feeney Talks with Friends, episode 123. I got a great guest here, Stefania Sassano. How you doing?
Hello, I'm doing good. How are you?
You may hear me refer to Stefania during the podcast. She is the production associate for Directline Media, but today she's our special guest. How you doing,
Yes,
Stefania?
doing pretty good. How are you? It snowed where I was. It's like all snow over there when I left, and then I came up here and there's nothing, so I was like very shocked.
All right.
Because there's only southern.
I mean, you
part.
say snow to a teacher, I'm like, no school?
Yeah.
All right. My name is Eric Feeney, founder and president of Friends of Feeney. Our mission is to help children and families that need assistance after heartbreak or tragedy. And I use this podcast, Feeney Talks with Friends, and I talk to wonderful guests that are doing great things. And Stefania, you're an internet personality.
Yeah. That's the first time I was referenced as that, actually. I've never heard that prior to this day.
We're dropping an exclusive here. You're an actress. You're a cosplayer. You're a content creator.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How's that?
Well, I started with content creating. Well, I started with acting because I did theater in college. But then towards graduation, or more so like January of 2021 is when I graduated in May, I started to do content creating because I needed to figure out what to do after college. And I went through college last 2 years at least with COVID. So I didn't really have like much experience or an internship to really solidify my career after college. So I had like this like crazy mental breakdown, and I was like, I gotta figure stuff out. So eventually I was like, an idea came to my head where I was like, oh, maybe I could do some content creating, because I saw people doing it during COVID, and ever since I was a kid, I loved dressing up and doing theater. So I was like, maybe I could do some cosplay and see where that goes. And that's how I got here.
Wow. No, it's great. You have TikTok, you have Instagram, you have Twitter. How many followers do you... I know how many followers. I looked it up.
Yeah.
How many followers do you have on TikTok?
I don't know if it's at like 170.
172.6 thousand.
Yeah.
Thousand.
On TikTok is, at least the followers are greater on there than on Instagram, which I was surprised.
Instagram, 137,000.
Yeah.
Twitter, 9,000, as expected, right?
Yeah.
But your TikTok page is hilarious, and I mean not hilarious, but well put together, interesting, engaging. You cosplay.
Yeah.
So to our listeners at home, what is cosplay?
So cosplaying is basically, it started in Japanese culture, cosplaying. That's why you see a lot of like anime cosplays. Those are really where it started. But it ventured off to like comic book cosplays and like movie cosplays. Basically, you dress up as characters from any pop culture thing, whether it's film or comics or anime. And there are comic conventions that you can go to where you can dress up and meet voice actors or comic book creators, either as the character, or you can, just go in anything you want. But it's a safe space for people to express themselves and dress up, and not really, because it used to be where you'd get bullied for stuff like this like years ago, and now it's become so popular and just like a regular thing that anybody does it.
Yeah, LARP, live action role playing. Kids would be in the park like sword fighting and pretending to be like a knight or a mutant or an ogre and cosplaying. That's what I thought of when I was a kid, 20, 40, 30, a long time ago anyway.
Yeah.
But now it's more developed into creating content, because you have a lot of cool videos. Is Rogue your favorite?
Yeah.
Is she your go-to? So Rogue is Marvel, so you'll have a Rogue talking to another character, but you're playing both characters.
Yeah.
Right?
So sometimes I'll have both cosplay, sometimes I won't, and I'll just like kind of finesse it where I'll be like, I'll just put the name of the character at least if I don't have the costume. But most of the time I try to do characters that I have the costumes for, so that way it's like cooler or funnier or, interesting.
So I'm interested. I know a lot of people listening are too. What does a content creator, how do you acquire funds? How do you get paid? How well does it pay? Where's the pay come in with the content creating?
So with TikTok, they have what's called, I forgot the name for it. Basically, TikTok pays you. Creator Fund, that's what it is. So they have this Creator Fund where you can sign up for it. I think you have to meet certain requirements, And based on your views or like engagement you get on your videos, they have to be at least a minute long for TikTok. For Instagram, it could be any amount. But it depends on how well your video is interacted, and based off that, they'll give you like a rate, and they'll do that the rate per view, I believe it is, on the video. So you can make, a lot of people make like thousands of dollars on TikTok if they have like a great amount of following and are consistent with their videos and have great engagement. You can make thousands, or like there are people that make millions sometimes, but that could be throughout TikTok and Instagram, you know, between both of those. But with Instagram, they have what's called like bonus reels. So, or like, it doesn't do reels anymore. It does like posts as well, but reels do better. So it could be any length of video that you post, and that's based off of also engagement. I think more so views and engagement. And then based off that, you get paid. It's not, you have to be pretty, I guess, consistent with your work, because you sometimes can make, and it's only monthly, so you get paid out monthly. So you can make like maybe $1,000 one month and then like just 500 the next, or like less. So it depends. It's not a lot of pay. Like if you have a great amount of following and you have like brand sponsorships, that's also another way to get paid. Then you can make this like a living kind of work life for you. But
Can
brand
I ask a
deals,
personal question? Oh, go ahead. Brand deals. Go
brand
ahead.
deals are where like you can make good money, because they usually pay, instead of like paying their employees or whatever, which, you know, sucks, but like social media people that they hire that cost a lot more, they look out for content creators and influencers and ask them to do like ads or reels, and they'll pay them whatever fee they have. Sometimes it's cheaper than like hiring, you know, somebody for the business, some like professional, I guess.
Wow. How well have you been paid? If you want to give us a range, what video? I mean, a couple of your videos, your X-Men intro. Do not, listeners out there, if the X-Men 97 intro comes on, you never skip it.
Never skip
right,
it.
Stefania?
Never. No.
One of the best intros of all time. And you have a great video on that, which has 2.4 million views.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that got paid.
Yeah, so a video like that, I don't remember how much I got paid for that, but it was, I know 1 month I got paid like over $700. And I posted, it was a few videos that like got a couple million. Or maybe like, I think it was one of those videos that got like over 1 million, and then a few that got like thousands. So you keep hitting like the million spot, then you're going to be getting paid like well every month. But yeah, that's that's about the amount. Or maybe if somebody, because I've seen people get like millions of views on videos, and then their page is probably like more popular or more engagement toward it, and they get paid a lot more. It just depends on the rates, because everyone's rate is different based on the engagement, on TikTok at least.
I know it's funny that I'm a teacher, so I've been teaching for 21 years. Last year was the first time in my whole career, it was like, what do you want to be when you grow up? A kid said YouTuber in 3rd grade. And I was like, wow. So it's out there. Like, YouTube is a profession and a career now.
Yeah.
Agree or disagree?
YouTubing was like, I would have to say agree, because being a YouTuber was a huge thing in like when YouTube came out.
Yep.
That's when it really all started, because I've been seeing, I have friends that grew up watching people on YouTube, and I've grown up watching people on YouTube that were very popular in the mid 2000s to like 2010s, but now like you don't see them as much anymore. Other people have taken over, but being a YouTuber has been a thing for years now. It isn't like just now.
I think that has morphed into being an influencer, content creator, right? YouTuber, same thing.
Pretty much.
Like, you know, Jake Paul started off a YouTuber, and now he's a boxer.
Yeah.
Kim Kardashian's obviously an influencer.
Yeah.
I think her TikTok and Instagram pays her pretty well. Who's got the best TikTok page? Who gets paid the most from their TikTok? Do you know? Like, do you have a content creator that you know? Like, Zach King. He's like a magician. You ever see him?
He sounds familiar, but I don't think I've seen his videos. It depends. I'm on like a different algorithm on TikTok than
Gotcha.
Others might be. Everyone's is custom to them, basically.
So you're getting all cosplay, Marvel stuff?
I get a lot of like comic book, Marvel stuff, yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Or like movie stuff too.
Nice. Yeah, you went to University of New Haven.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Southern Connecticut State University in New Haven.
Yeah.
So, shout out to New Haven. Did you have a favorite pizza spot?
I didn't really go out for pizza when I was in college over there, but my family and I would go to like Modern Pizza or Pepe's, between those two. But it wasn't like constant that I would go with my friends or anything.
And then you got your communications
Mm-hmm.
and theater.
Yeah, I majored in communications, concentrating in film production, then minored in theater. I went as undecided in college. Actually, in high school, I told my guidance counselor, I was scouting these schools for like music programs, and I told my guidance counselor, like, because I went to UNH at least to scout it because of their music program, and it was very good, and they went to like Tennessee and stuff for their internship. And I told my guidance counselor in school, I was like, I want to study music. And then when I said that, she kind of gave me this like look like, I don't know if that's something you should do. And I'm like, well, I mean, I took classes for it, but, and I was naive. I was listening to my guidance counselor, right? They would know best for me. And she said, why don't you go as undecided? I was like, okay. So I went as undecided. And then I was like, I don't know what to do. Maybe I was interested in architecture. So I was like, let me take an architectural design class. And then I really wanted to do theater because I did theater in my last year of high school. Even though I've always wanted to do it, I was always very a shy kid though. So I didn't do it till my senior year. And then I took the class, the architectural class, and I was doing theater at the same time. And then I found out I really wanted to minor in theater. And then when I found out what the credit requirements were for architectural design, it was too much where I couldn't do a minor for like free or like part of the tuition. I would have to pay extra for it, and I didn't want to pay extra.
Yeah.
So and that meant a lot more time. You have to devote a lot more time to architecture than like anything else, basically. Because I think it was a 5-year major instead of a 4-year. So I was like, I talked with my best friend one day. I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know if I should stick with theater or stick with this. And we were talking about, because I loved film. I grew up, watching films with my family, and my brother really got me into all of that, into comic books as well, into Marvel and DC. So she was like, why don't you like study film and then minor in theater, because those really go really well together. And I was like, that's a good idea. So
Yeah.
I decided to do that. And it was funny because I had already told the architectural design teacher or head of the department that I was going to major in architecture. And one day he like came in and he had my paper ready and signed. And I was like, actually, I'm not going to do this anymore. And you could like just see in his face that he was like kind of disappointed. I was like, yeah, because I was really good at that class. Like my sketches were not bad. They were really good. They were even on like the wall outside. So I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this anymore. But then I decided to do film and theater, and I was happy that I did that because I really focused, at least towards the second half of my college career, on theater a lot more than film, just because it was a lot more enjoyable for me. And also, I didn't know as many people. I'd studied film, but I didn't know as many people in the department or close with them as I were with people in theater. And I found myself always hanging out in the theater even when I wasn't there for rehearsal. Like, even if I was in the lobby just, like, working on homework or whatever, I would always be there. So.
Felt comfortable. That was the place to be.
Yeah.
I know Dr. Short in high school, I took 2 drafting classes, and I'm like, architecture is very cool. You're the triangle and the T-square and being precise. I really liked it.
Yeah. I still have the supplies, too. I have, like, or maybe a few of them. I have my sketchbooks still, and they're pretty cool. I mean, sometimes I look through them like, this could have been a career that I could have done, but it's funny because the head of the film department was like, oh, you did architecture? I was like, yeah, I did a class, and he was like, that's funny because a lot of people, or most of the time, sometimes in the film industry, there are people that will go into it and then decide they want to like work in architecture from that. And I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. I guess with like set building and stuff, which is what I did in theater too. I helped whenever I could. If I wasn't performing or rehearsing, I was always like in the shop helping with building the sets for the shows.
Nice. So yeah, you did a couple film and theater. University of New Haven, UNH Chargers, aren't you the Chargers? Yep.
Yeah, it's funny because there's also New Hampshire.
That's confusing, yep.
Yeah, but they have the right to say UNH. We don't. And we would always joke like, "Oh no, that's the good UNH. We're at New Haven." Whenever people like asked.
Winter's Tale, The Wolves, Mr. Byrne, Cabaret, Almost Maine, a chorus line.
Yeah. Chorus line was my freshman year. So that was like going into theater my freshman year. I was like still very nervous and scared. And my audition, like, I didn't think I was going to make the cut, but I did. But I made it as like one of the cut dancers. So chorus line is like a dancer is auditioning to be on a chorus line. So there's like cut dancers at the beginning that are only there for that, and then they leave. But my friends and I, who were the cut dancers, we stood behind these panels on stage that turned throughout the show. So like we had stuff to do during it. But that was basically my into the theater department, because after getting this like very, very small part, I became more comfortable with people around me, which helped me get one of the supporting roles in Cabaret, which is like my favorite show, one of my favorite shows we did there.
Nice. I did Something Rotten just 2 years ago. I came out as an old lady, and I went, Toppins for sale. It was a fundraiser. It was collaboration with Summer Academy in West Hartford. My former student Penny was in it. Her mom Sarah ran the show, and they put me in a little cameo. It was really cool. So I like acting.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a way to kind of get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Even if it's like something small, it's very easy to just kind of lose yourself in it.
Cool shirt, X-Men. We're gonna get into the X-Men. Where'd you get the shirt? Tell us about it. X-Men 97 on the side. Oh yeah.
Show that.
Why is that 97 on there? Never skip the intro.
Never. Oh, it's also like these coordinates on here. I haven't looked them up yet, but I think it's coordinates to the X Mansion in Westchester, New York. I don't know if it's like the Airbnb X Mansion that I went to, or if it's like just a random house that they did. But I have to look it up. Keep forgetting.
So did they send that because you're a content creator and you're on TikTok? They sent that to you, right?
Yeah.
Did you have to talk about the shirt and like do a little promo?
No, just photos. This was Team Liquid. I believe, yeah, Team Liquid. My jacket too is from them as well, and also has the coordinates too. But it's very comfortable, and I remember when I was like, you have to pick them out. I picked mine out. I was like picking them out, and I was like, this one's really cool. And then they were like, oh, it's out of stock. You have to wait a while for it. I'm like, all right, I'll wait for it, because it was worth it, because it's like casual where you can wear it out, but it's also nerdy where it's like you know, people won't think twice. I actually wore this to the airport once, and someone was like, the security guy was like, I really like your shirt. I'm like, thank you. You get it.
And tell us about the Airbnb. Did you have to sign an NDA and stuff?
Yeah.
I remember you told me that a couple podcasts ago.
Yeah. So this was in, I think, March. I was reached out by someone for Airbnb, and I was like, what could Airbnb want with me? I don't do anything with that. And then after, it was like before I had the meeting, I was thinking what they could possibly want. And I remembered they did like these Icon series houses where they like built Barbie's Dream House or Shrek's Swamp. And I was like, oh my God, they're going to do the X Mansion. I know it. And I had the meeting, and she was like, so we're doing the X Mansion? And I'm like, yes. And she showed me everything about it. Well, like a little bit, not to like spoil. But April, I think it was, me and like a group of people, they had different groups, different days. We got invited to go to the mansion, and it was like beautiful. It's in Westchester, New York, so where the mansion is supposed to be. The property was huge, and in front, the driveway, there's like two driveways to get in, and you drive in up this hill, and then you turn the corner, and you can see a sentinel head in front of the mansion. So, you know, like the robots that are...
Yep.
Yeah. So that was like the first thing that caught my eye. And then there was like the sign that said Xavier's School.
Yep.
And then the mansion itself looked like it was actually from the series, which is really, really cool.
The series, I know. How about when Deadpool goes to visit? Is that very similar when he goes to get Colossal?
No.
It's different?
That one's different. That's like, I would say like the modernized version of
Okay.
like the X Mansion. That's like the MCU Fox Universe mansion which is like it's like a castle, what it looks like, almost like a mansion castle. This one is like a house.
And why do you think they had you sign the NDA?
So we didn't tell anybody about it because it was a secret. It was like a big secret. Because as soon as it came out, it got really popular.
Are you breaking the NDA right now?
No.
Okay.
No, because the house is already out.
Oh, this is way before it came out.
This is last year. Yeah. So.
Okay. Did they ask for feedback or a little survey or?
So we had to do content. So I knew other people that were in the group as well.
Okay.
There were also other creators, and it's a place where you could. So it's an immersive experience. I don't think it's open anymore. They closed it, I think, in October because it's only a certain amount of time that was available. But basically, you can stay in the mansion, but only one night. But it's an immersive experience. As soon as you like get out your car and walk up to the door, there's people out there waiting for you, and like they're all in character. It's not the X-Men, it's themselves. It's like the people that work for the X-Men. They're like all wearing uniforms and stuff, and they have like classes, and you walk in and it's painted like it's 2D animation, like the show.
Okay.
It's so sick.
Did you go in cosplay or did you go as Stefania?
No, I went as myself, but I did have like a Rogue-inspired look, and my hair at the time was dyed like hers.
Yep.
So I just wore like my brown jacket and like how Rogue's colors would be.
Very cool.
I also had the danger room too, where you could actually use some machines and like little tiny balls would like shoot out, and we did like an exercise too. It was all an immersive experience. And they had an arcade. Well, not arcade. They had Jubilee's room, and her room was the coolest. She had a game, like Marvel X-Men game.
Were you able to take pictures?
Yeah, I could throw some pictures up.
Throw some pictures on the pod. Check them out. You're gonna be popping on the screen right now. Well, awesome shirt. I just wouldn't mind talking about my shirt. AC Automotive gave me this. My good friend Aldo, great friend Aldo. What I was going to say. He has donated 4 years in a row. So it's a AC Automotive. It's on New Britain Avenue. They fix cars, and they collect the scrap metal throughout the year. And they add it up, and then they bring it back every year and recycle it or whatever they get paid for it. And they donate it to Friends of Feeney. So thank you, Aldo, and all of our friends at AC Automotive. You're an amazing group. Great business. Cares about the community. They had a Christmas party over at the Berlin Truck Bar. Awesome spot. They had like 10 cornholes, bar, like you said, arcade. So, and he gave me this shirt, LL Bean shirt. Pretty nice, right?
I like LL Bean. I kind of splurged one year to get the moccasins because they're I think my brother said that if they like defluff, they'll refluff them for you.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's worth it.
They had a lifetime guarantee return policy, LL Bean.
Really?
So people would use a school bag, a backpack, maybe like the strap would rip a little bit. They bring it back and return and get a new one. I think they stopped that.
Actually, when I went to get my moccasins, they said the same thing. That like if they, I guess, if the lining ripped apart, whatever, they would replace them or something, or something like that.
Well, thanks again, Aldo, because this is my first ever LL Bean shirt. So, Aldo, again, New Britain Avenue. Thank you 4 years in a row. It was awesome. So thank you. Maybe I'll share that with them too. Check them out, Aldo, AC Automotive. Aldo Carducci, his dad started it, and then Aldo ran the West Hartford one. His brother Guy ran the New Britain one. Unfortunately, Guy passed away last year. So thinking of Guy, we had a moment of silence for him at the Christmas party. I did a dance, and we had Celebrity Dancing with the Stars, which was sponsored by Lions Auto, which is down the street from AC Automotive. And they honored Guy as in memory of Guy. Mm-hmm. And I won.
Oh yeah, you said that.
I won the dancing
contest.
contest.
So what did you win?
A trophy.
Oh, okay.
Bragging rights, because I beat Victor from MBT Bank, and I beat the mayor, and I beat Dennis House, and Ronnie Newton from Weehaw.com, and Ja. But it was a good time. We raised money. It was at the JCC through Tom Hickey and 2020 Media. But Friends of Feeney won Best of. It was the Best of Awards. Mm-hmm. So we won Best Nonprofit 3 years in a row. And this year we collaborated with Arthur Murray's Dance, and we did a dance. So I danced with Zuli Rivera. Shout out to my dance partner, Zuli. She works at Juniper Home Care. That's also on New Britain Avenue, up the street from AC Automotive. So it goes Juniper, AC Automotive, Lions Auto, my three people. And we practiced. I couldn't even clap on beat. It was like, and then we did like 1-2 step. That was day one, just to do one little tango. And then we did a whole 1.5-minute routine. Maybe you
Nice.
could put that up there.
Yeah, if you send me the video, yeah.
Ooh, check out my dance skills. Leave a comment in the YouTube page or on the Spotify, Instagram.
I did dance as a kid.
Yeah?
Yeah. Never like ballroom or anything. It was more like I started ballet when I was probably 4 years old, and then I did tap and then jazz. And then when I got older, I started to do hip hop like in middle school, and then I stopped because I didn't like how like they were not teaching, but I just didn't like the choreography. And my friends and I started our own like dance group. It was the three of us in middle school. We did the talent show.
Nice.
I can't find the video. We don't know where the video is for it. We did the talent show twice. But the second year, I think it was our 8th grade, was like our best one. And then we actually in high school started a dance team. I doubt it still exists today, but I think it was our senior year we started it, and we got to do pep rallies and stuff, and people loved it. So,
Nice.
but I don't think it exists
I know,
anymore.
it says that you were a Chicago dance audition workshop, jazz
Yeah.
and funk,
Yeah.
anything Broadway dance, swing dance, chorus line dance.
Yeah.
So
So that
you're-
was at KCAC, which is the Kennedy Center American College Theater Festival, and it was my sophomore year. That was my first time going, and I got nominated for cabaret for the Irene Ryan Acting Award, and for that award you have to compete for it, and that's why they do this festival. And there's a musical theater one, there's the acting one, and then there's also like workshops you could do, and that's where I did all those dance workshops. And I auditioned for this Broadway boot camp that was in Florida, and I got in, and I couldn't. I didn't want to like pay for it because it was like $5,000 I think for the summer, and I was already gonna pay $5,000 for my internship for the Cannes Film Festival in the spring. And I was like, yeah, I have to
Whoa.
decline this.
Yeah.
Which sucked because I really wanted to go. My friend went and she said she had a great time. And then I ended up not going to Cannes because the, I guess, secretary messed up our paperwork for like travel or something. I don't know. We just didn't get the paperwork for it.
That's
But
terrible.
yeah, I tried to go to Cannes 3 times. The second time I was all set to go, paid, and I got my passport too. I had to redo it, and then COVID happened. Yeah, so and I came back. That was my second year at KCAC. I was nominated again for an award and competed for it. And then when we came back from that, because it was like the end of February or something, when we came back from that, we had a week of school, and then everything was shut down. And then they canceled all travel and stuff. So I was like, I guess I'm not going to France. And then the next year too, my senior year, they said we could try and get like a small group to go, and I was like, oh, that's cool, so I can graduate on the red carpet, because that's what I was going to be a senior. I was graduating, and we were going during the time of graduation. And then they said, actually, no, we're not doing that, because I was like, okay, I guess I'm not going to France at all. I kind of still am salty about that to this day.
Sounds like it. You're
Yeah.
like, well, it's like
Yeah.
3 strikes, you're out.
Basically, yeah.
Like once, I get it. Twice, okay. But 3, that hurts.
Yeah, our internship was supposed to be with Paramount. So, but, because we had a deal with Paramount, I guess, for the students, so, yeah.
Very cool. No, it says now I have accents. You can do a German accent,
I can.
Southern accent, New York accent. What's
Yeah.
RP?
British. That's like the professional way of, I forgot what it means, though. I should probably learn that.
I didn't know. And this, can you really do softball, volleyball, soccer, billiards, ice skating, cartwheel, handstand,
Yep.
basic stage combat?
Yeah.
Come on, like you're really trying to be a Marvel. You want to be
I mean, I did take boxing classes, so, well, that I was after the fact of my stage combat, but
Cry
I
on
don't
Command.
actually. Yeah.
X-Men 97 episode 5 reaction. on TikTok. Did you cry on command? You're crying. Is that fake crying?
Wow, wait, which one was that? Was that the one in cosplay?
You're
Was
like, yeah, you're in cosplay. You're at the tissue. You're kind of like, X-Men 90. This is. I'm not crying, but. And
Oh,
you
it
were
was my
crying.
reaction for. Oh yeah.
Reaction.
Yeah. Oh, those are real.
Really?
Episode 5 was like devastating. If you know, you know.
Spoiler alert. Tell us what happened.
Well, I mean, it's been years now.
Since
not years.
1997, right?
Almost a year, yeah. No, it's from the new show.
Oh, the
Yeah.
remake. Gotcha.
Yeah. It's been like just under a year
All right, tell us what happened.
since the show. So,
Episode 5. And then, if you can cry on command, tell us about it, and give us a couple of tears.
If
you can.
I have to be like in a serious situation for me to cry on
That's
command.
on command. Cry
Well,
on command.
yeah, I mean, but if it's like too of like a goofy moment, I don't think I could do
I'm
that.
messing with you. Okay.
But
tell us
but
what
episode
happened.
5,
Who dies?
Gambit dies. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Spoiler.
Ooh.
If you haven't seen it by now, I mean,
Because Gambit dies, like, in the comic book and
He does.
in 97.
So-
back then, too.
he dies in the comics. Oh, you know what? I don't think he actually died in the comics. I can't recall, but I know why he died in the show, and why, like, how he's gonna come back, and it's based off of the early 2000s. I think it was early 2000s run of X-Men where he dies and not dies. He becomes Apocalypse's horseman of death, and yeah. So
What about, I guarantee. Give me your best impression of Gambit.
oh no, that's
You can't do Gambit?
Gambit's Cajun. Cajun's very hard to do.
Guarantee.
No,
that's his thing. No.
Cajun's not Southern.
I know, but
Cajun is Southern. Well, it's Southern, but
I
like
know
Cajun's
for
very.
a fact Gambit's line is I guarantee. No, come on. No, let's Google that. We gotta look that up.
Guarantee. I've never
I
heard that.
Maybe that's the old school original one. I gotta look this up.
I've never heard that.
You've never heard Gambit say that?
No.
Oh my goodness. He even did it. I think he did it in Deadpool.
Yeah, if you wanna, you saw Deadpool, right? The new
Yeah.
one.
That was
That-
awesome when he came out.
His Cajun accent is like pretty close, authentic Cajun accent. Like that's what it sounds like. Sometimes hard to understand. Most of the time, hard to understand.
Yeah, who was that? That was
Channing Tatum.
yes. Wesley Snipes, Blade
Yeah.
intro was really slow-mo with
Yeah.
the goatee, which was cool.
How they came in was really cool. As soon as I saw the card thrown into frame, I was like, my brother was sitting to the right of me, and I just started like punching him. So
You were
excited.
like, it's coming, it's coming.
Yeah. And I didn't know it was gonna happen either, which is crazy. They kept it a secret.
I don't know if I'm gonna look it up, but I put in Gambit guarantee, but maybe Gambit says guarantee. But I can't believe Gambit dies. Spoiler alert. I
Yeah.
guess you're episode 5.
But he's coming back, don't worry. Just as a horseman of death. So he won't be a good guy, but that's a spoiler for the second season. But if you know, you know. The comics.
Man, I'm here with Stefania Sassano, an internet personality and production associate. I can't read today. So we're going to do 3 keys.
Okay.
This is the Feeney Talks with Friends podcast. We have sponsors. I want to shout out Directline Media. I want to thank Dave. Dave's, I think, is he in Brantford somewhere?
Yeah.
311 Sycamore Way.
No,
11.
11. Yeah.
11 Sycamore Way, Brantford, Connecticut. Directline Media. Check them out. And Stefania, we're here with Stefania. Usually she's behind the camera. Today she's in front of it. I want to thank Directline Media. And this would not be possible without them. We're on episode 123. 123. I want to thank our host, Maximum Beverage. I just saw Matt and Connor. The Whitneys are great people. I want to thank Brooke Goff, Keating Agency Insurance, The Fix IV, Float 41, Keating Agency Insurance, I said that one already, People's Bank, and West Hartford Lock. And with West Hartford Lock, what are 3 keys that make you great I'll let you choose. You want to talk about being a production associate or internet personality?
I would use content creator instead of internet personality.
All right, content creator.
Yeah.
What are 3 keys that make you a great content creator?
Well, one of them, which I've kind of been lacking in lately, but should be a great key, is consistency. So if you're consistent with your work, then your videos, even if they do like not as well as you think, the consistency is what matters the most. You just be posting like 2 times a day, or like it has to be a lot, which is crazy for you to get great engagement. But eventually, if you're consistent with it, it'll all pay off in the end. That's how I view it as. A second one, having a creative mind helps a lot. So if you come from a creative field, or if you have something you're passionate about, having a passion is very big, then it'll help you kind of steer your way through content creating and looking at other people as like influences for what kind of you want to do. Because that's how I basically started. I saw something that I was interested in or really good at or passionate about, and I decided to make content about it. And then over the years, because I started this like 4 years ago now, 3 years ago. No, 4, 2025, yeah, almost 4. And my stuff has changed over the years. So I started with cosplaying, and then I got into like the comic stuff, and then I started doing a little bit of film stuff, and now I'm doing like kind of a mix of all of it, but also mostly I kind of ventured more towards like stuff that's coming out from like Marvel and whatnot, just because a lot of things are coming out this year for Marvel, like Fantastic Four is a big one. And then a third one, a third key, I guess a third key would be like networking, or like networking is huge, but especially with content creating, having mutuals online and like commenting on their stuff and being friendly with them. Of course, like because you want that friendship, but also it's great to know people, because one day they could think of you and be like, hey, maybe you'd be interested in being part of this or coming with me to this event. Like I have thought of people that are like, that I have become good friends with, and I've gotten invited to an event, and I was like, this person would love this. Let me see if they'd be interested in going. So there's like the benefit in that, but also because like you really want to make friends and mutuals, and then when you go to Comic Cons, you finally meet them in person. It's like a great fun time.
That's so cool. Yeah, you just inspired me. I don't do enough commenting on other people's posts from the Friends of Feeney account, other nonprofits or other organizations that are doing great things. But that'll lead and build friendship and build that network.
Yeah. Like I've gotten asked to be part of a lot of
I'm gonna
things
start
because
doing
of that.
Yeah, you're building your network. You're building that discourse back and forth. They'll leave a comment on you. You'll leave a comment on them. Consistency, creative mind, and networking. I love it. 3 keys. That was really good. And I'm going to start doing that. Yeah, you just opened my eyes to something new.
Well, you're welcome.
Because I like the twice a day. We were at the point where we did twice a day.
Yeah.
But we try to do a little something in the morning, something after, before school or after school.
Yeah. That's how I started. I was posting like, it was like Tuesdays and Thursdays I started doing like 3 times those days. And then I started to do like a couple a day. Maybe leaving like the weekends open. But I was always constantly posting, and I was always up till like 3 a.m. just making content. And I would be so exhausted. Like that's how much hard work I put into it. And then over the years, it kind of like slowed down for me. I kind of started realizing like, okay, I was crazy, but I got myself to this point now. Maybe I can start like slowing down a bit. But now I need to like pick back up where I left off.
No, your videos look like they take some time.
Yeah.
Number 1, you got to get in costume.
Yeah.
2, you got the back and forth. There's so much involved. How much time would one video take? Say the Rogue talks with Carol back and forth. How long did that take to create and get out?
So getting like all ready for one take probably took about like half hour to 45 minutes, and then the next take would be like about the same.
Oh yeah, because you have to know what you're going to say back and forth, right? Because you had to do this whole part on this side dressed.
Yeah.
then
So
do this part.
I
It's not like you
basically-
dress and go. Okay.
I don't
Yeah.
go like back and forth. No.
Yeah,
That'd
that's
be,
silly
that'd
and
be insane.
ridiculous.
So I do
you cut all
one
the parts
take.
as Rogue over here.
Yeah.
And Carol.
Yeah.
Who is Carol, by the way? I'm sorry.
So Carol Danvers is Captain Marvel.
Ah,
Yeah.
gotcha. All right.
She, if you want to know a little bit about how their relationship is and why I do both their characters sometimes, it's because in Rogue's first appearance, Avengers Annual 10, Rogue absorbs, at the time she was Miss Marvel, Carol Danvers, her power is absorption, so she can only skin-to-skin contact, and if she holds you long enough, she can either put you in a coma or kill you. And steal your powers permanently, which is what she did with Carol Danvers. She put her in a coma and stole her flight and strength and invulnerability permanently. So they did not
That's why
get off
Rogue
to a
flies?
great start. Yes. And so she was
okay.
her first appearance. She was a villain because she was part of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. Her parents were Mystique and Destiny. Mystique
I know
is
Mystique.
yeah. So she was raised by those two when she was a kid, because she ran away from home. I don't know how old she was, but she was very, very young. And they raised her to be a villain and go after Carol, and yeah. And then they meet again later in the comics, and they fight it out, and Rogue gets punched, and this is when she becomes like a hero, because then she leaves the Brotherhood after realizing that she needs help with her powers, like controlling them, and like because when she absorbs somebody, especially like Carol permanently, her psyche is also in her head, like Carol's in her head. So there will be times where Carol will try and like push forward and try to take over Rogue's body. So this happens with like anybody she could absorb. She also takes on physical traits sometimes. So like if she absorbs Mystique, she will turn blue as well.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Mystique is the one who goes through walls.
No, she can shapeshift.
Oh,
Kitty
played
Pryde
by
can
played
go
by
through.
John Stamos's old wife
I forgot her name.
in the movie.
In the original
Yeah.
X-Men movie, Rebecca Romaine.
Stamos. Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, we do favorite restaurant. What's your favorite restaurant?
I don't really go out, but I would say I love getting pizza. So
All right.
it's very hard to choose Pepe's and Modern between those two. I've had Modern more often than Pepe's though.
So you're at Modern, and you could eat with 4 superheroes.
Mm-hmm.
We usually do dinner guests, but
Yeah.
today's topic, all superheroes.
Okay.
4 superheroes. Who you eat and when and why?
I mean, I have to put Rogue as one of them.
Knew that.
She's obvious.
Here's where we're gonna flash a picture of you and Rogue. Boom.
Yeah. Of me as Rogue or
Oh
me
yes,
and
you
her?
as Rogue.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You as Rogue.
All right.
Cosplaying. Hello.
Yeah.
Word of the day.
Oh, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, absolutely Spider-Man. Because Spider-Man pizza, they go well together.
With great power comes.
Great responsibility, which is not the original quote from the comics. That's not how it goes in the comics.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
The movies did that?
Well, it
Or
was
did
like
Stan Lee
shorter.
change it?
It was like shorter, kind of how they did it in the movies. With great power must also come great responsibility. Like I think that's how it's
Oh, a
said, or
little
whatever.
more. Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, which is like, I don't know. That was like a little nerd comment. So Rogue, Spider-Man,
Have you ever cosplayed as Spider-Man?
Spider-Gwen.
Okay. Flash picture of you cosplaying.
Yes.
Spider-Woman or Spider-Girl?
No, I wanted to do Spider-Woman, but she's not like a priority on the list at the moment. I don't want to leave it to just Marvel characters. I mean, one of my first favorite Marvel character actually was Loki. I've always loved Loki. So Rogue, Spider-Man, Loki, and
Flash picture of you and Loki.
yeah, and maybe I'll throw in a DC character. This is very difficult.
I like it. See?
I mean, I could do Supergirl because I cosplay as Supergirl. Supergirl got very popular for me last year, but
As in you cosplaying as her
Yeah.
got popular?
but as like as the Flash version, the Flash movie version.
Because she's in the Flash
Yeah.
movie, right?
Yeah, Sasha Calle, that's the actress.
Yep.
Which I loved her as Supergirl, and I wish we got more of her, but not like that. DCU is over. It's okay. So Rogue, Spider-Man, Loki, and this is very, very difficult.
Well, here's some people that I saw you dressed as: Supergirl,
Mm-hmm.
Rogue, Black Cat, Harley Quinn,
Ooh, Harley Quinn.
Disney characters, Disney
Oh
princesses,
yeah. Megara, yeah. From Hercules.
Star Wars characters, and Marvel characters.
Yeah.
So just giving you some hints. This fourth one stumped. She stumped everybody.
Yeah. Look, there's so many great people. I would choose Harley Quinn.
Okay.
She, you know why? Because I feel like some crazy things might
Interesting for
go.
conversation.
Yeah, interesting for conversation. Also, like, she's a very, like, you wouldn't picture her with this group of people. So I would throw Harley Quinn in there as, like, kind of a wild card.
Nice. So we got Rogue, Spider-Man, Loki, Harley Quinn.
Yes.
Very nice. I like it. All right, your TikTok videos or your content that you've created, new game, your first content piece, and we got cutting down on time, so we got first and next last. Let's do like a minute on each. Your
Okay.
first content piece, your last content piece, your best content piece, and your worst content piece.
I don't remember the very first one that I did, but I do remember one where I basically was dressed as Rogue, and it was like this trend where it was a comment about like the Rogue in the Fox movies, and basically like how bad of a version she was. I was like, when the producers would ever make your character look like awful compared to like what you actually are or whatever. And that one was the first video that really blew up my page, and I got like a lot of followers from that. Last?
Yep.
The last video that I did. What was the last video that I did? I have to like look that up. Well, the last video that I personally did myself was a recap of my 2024, which is like every event and stuff that I went to and my Comic-Con experiences and all of that. And then my best video, I think, was the X-Men 97 intro with the 2 million views. Oh, no, it wasn't. It was a video that got like a lot more views, actually. It got like 8 million.
Whoa, nice.
Actually, I kind of want to throw this in there as one of my best videos, even though it wasn't personally done by me. It was by Marvel Social at New York Comic Con in 2023. It was me dressed as Rogue and somebody dressed as Gambit. He was really, really tall. He's 6'8", huge. And we did a video with Marvel Social, and that video got, I think, 11 million views on their page. So I'm going to count that one as my best.
Yeah.
Because I was in it. It wasn't my video personally, but I was in it. And then my worst video, I would say my worst videos were ones where I probably like just talked about my collections of things and my comics sometimes. Those videos didn't do as well. So there were times where the videos where I like gave tours of my office, those weren't really that interesting. Those were bad ones compared to other
What
stuff
about the
I've
videos
done.
where you're like, talk to me in character?
Oh,
And you
shake my hand in
their
character?
Oh, shake my hand in character.
Yeah, that was the first time I did that. I did that at Rhode Island Comic Con because I was like, this is such a genius thing to do for a Rogue, especially with no glove on. That was the whole point.
You heard it here. First, last, best, worst. TikTok videos. She's been in a video that's 11 million, and your own one has 2 million.
Yeah.
All right, this next question, can you answer in character?
What character?
Let's do Rogue.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask Stefania who her favorite teacher is. So, but talk
Ooh.
as your Rogue.
My favorite teacher? Huh. I have to answer as Rogue?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Come on, you can do this.
Well, you're a third grade teacher, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You're really putting me on the spot here.
I like it. Come on. This is good.
Well, I would say my favorite teacher was probably my third grade teacher, Mr. Messina. I can't really do the accent right now because I'm like in the state of mind where it's like, oh, I'm trying to do it. I would say my favorite teacher when I was a kid was Mr. Messina because he was real cool, and I had him for second grade, but also for third grade because we loved him so much that we all wanted him in third grade as well. And after, he came to our pool party at the end of the year, and he hung out with us, and he was always real nice, and I'll never forget him. That was the worst accent that I've done. That was the worst. I can do better, I promise.
That was really good. Yeah, you were put on the spot.
Yeah.
All right. How about another character?
What other character has an accent? I mean, I don't know. I've never done a British character.
Oh, how about let's pick a language.
A language.
German, RP, Southern, or New York? You got a choice. This is like Jimmy Fallon, spin the wheel. Ding, 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 ding,
Oh, yeah,
ding,
I could do a
ding,
British
ding,
accent.
ding. All right, British accent.
So
Ready?
British accent comes from being a fan of One Direction.
Really?
Yeah, that's
All
literally.
right, with a British accent, tell us about your favorite moment with a friend. Because this is Friends of Feeney, and our motto is
Friends
be a
of
good
Feeney.
friend.
Be a good friend. My favorite moment with a friend has to be probably when we went to see One Direction. So I'm going to bring One Direction into this while doing a British accent. So, this was in 2014. This is the first time we ever saw One Direction together, and it was the stadium tour Where We Are. And the band 5 Seconds of Summer, opened up for them. And it's kind of like a bragging thing because there are a lot of people nowadays that are like, oh, I wish I was a teenager when I went to see One Direction and saw 5 open for them, and I was like, wow, you're really aging me. But yeah, I would say that was the best
All
time.
right, cool. One Direction with friends in a British accent. I
Yes.
love it. All right, so we got through. Boom, boom, boom. All right, you ready for some trivia?
Oh God, yeah.
Oh, actually, first some cosplay questions.
Okay.
These are fire away. Cosplay questions. How long have you been cosplaying?
4 years.
What kind of cosplayer do you consider yourself?
Probably Marvel, mostly.
Why do you cosplay?
Because I love dressing up.
What would you tell someone who hated cosplay?
That it's fun and you should give it a try.
Are your cosplay costumes homemade or bought?
Half and half. I make props mostly with like foam and a 3D printer.
Nice. Oh, let's list some of your cosplay costumes because you
Okay.
have a bunch.
Yeah. So I have Rogue, I've done Dazzler, I've done Harley Quinn, Black Cat, Spider-Gwen, Megra from Hercules. I've done a Winter Soldier cosplay as well. Like I actually built the arm for it too. It's in
The metal
foam.
arm?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I built it with
Bucky?
foam. Yeah, Bucky. And then I also built Loki's horns as well. That was my first ever prop making thing. They look not as great though. Rey from Star Wars. I built her staff. Those are the ones that are like the top of my head that have come out that I've done.
Very cool. How about Rogue? Was that purchased?
That was purchased, yeah.
How much? Do you mind me asking?
It was just over 100, I would say. But it was pieces that I took from like different. So I bought a nicer suit, but it was custom fit, and it actually didn't custom fit me. Something was wrong with it. But I kept the jacket from that, and I just used it with the old suit that I had.
How about Supergirl? How much was that one?
Supergirl, I forgot to list Supergirl. Supergirl, that was like
Are those your two
maybe like $70.
Are those your two favorites?
I would say Supergirl has become one of my favorites recently because of how popular she's become with me, at least. Because there was a post that I did where people thought I was actually the actress in the Flash movie because it was like a mirror picture. I don't know if you saw that one. It was a mirror picture, and I was on location for like a photo shoot, and it got like 90,000 likes on it. And people were like, oh my God, I thought this was actually Sasha Kaye. I was
cool.
like, I thought this was a picture from, because I posted it on a year anniversary of the movie coming out. That's why.
Oh, smart. Well played.
Yeah.
Timing. Good timing.
Yeah.
What's your most expensive costume?
With the amount of like effort I put into my Rogue cosplay, I would probably say Rogue was the most expensive because I've even bought boots for her too The custom suit wasn't cheap, and that ended up not fitting, which sucked. And then the boots that I bought were like $60 themselves, and then I stopped using them because they're very uncomfortable. So in total, I think that's the most I've spent, which is crazy.
And then what was your first convention, last convention?
First convention was Terrificon at Mohegan Sun, and then which is actually where I bought my first appearance Rogue comic, because I was dressed as Rogue, somebody's like, Rogue, and I turned around and they were like, we have your comic, and I bought it there. So great timing. And the last convention I went to was Rhode Island Comic Con in November.
Nice.
And I was a guest there.
And when's your next convention?
I'm not sure of yet. It's still up in the air. I was supposed to go to Emerald City in Seattle, which I went to a few years ago, but I don't know about that yet.
Based on Wizard of Oz? Is that why it's Emerald City?
I don't know.
Oh,
no idea why. But I have a possibility of going to San Diego Comic-Con, which is like the big one. Officially, I know I will be at New York Comic Con again, because that one I've been going to the last few years, and that's easy for me to get into.
Would you do contacts or no? Do you wear contacts or no contacts when you cosplay?
I tried contacts, but you have to really like train yourself to wear them. But it's not like I can't wear them. I just have to practice a lot more.
Wigs or no wigs?
Wigs, yeah.
Boom, boom. These are questions from the cosplay.
Actually, I sprayed my hair black for Rhode Island Comic Con for Supergirl because I didn't want to wear a wig.
Find you so awesome. Photoshop or not photoshopped?
Sometimes I do Photoshop, depending on like if I want it to look a certain way.
And do you prefer videos or photography?
I kind of prefer photography, actually.
All right, that's cosplay questions. I will do a quick Marvel question. Okay. Trivia now. We're on the trivia game part.
All right.
What genre is X-Men 97 series? Comedy, drama, animation, documentary?
Animation.
Too easy. Who created X-Men 97 series?
Oh, Bo DeMaio.
All right.
The newest one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When did the X-Men 97 series premiere?
The newest one?
Yep.
Last March.
March 20th, 2024.
March 20th. Oh, yeah.
Where is the X-Men series set?
In Westchester, New York. Or New York City, whichever.
Who is the leader in X-Men and X-Men 97?
Cyclops is supposed to be the leader.
What's his real name?
Scott Summers.
What's Storm's real name?
Aurora Monroe.
What's Wolverine's real name?
Logan. I don't remember his last name, actually. Oh, God. Yeah, who else?
James
Logan
Howlett.
James Howlett. Yeah, he goes by two names.
What is the original series that X-Men 97 is a revival of?
X-Men, the animated series.
Very good. Who's the head writer for the first two seasons of X-Men 97?
Julia and the Leewalds. Julia and oh God, what's his name?
This says Bo.
Oh, for the original show or for the newest one?
I think it's X-Men 97.
97 is Bo DeMaio.
Bo.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant the original series.
Sorry. Who's the supervising director of X-Men 97?
Is it Jake Castorina?
Yeah. Man, you're good.
Jake Castorina. This a lot of people.
Is that the guy you met?
One of the guys I met at the premiere. But I'm mutuals with a lot of the people from X-Men 97 and like the voice actors too.
Mutuals, like mutual friends?
Yeah, on like Instagram. And I've also like met them at cons. I've met them a few times. They're always so great to talk to.
What's the country of origin in X-Men 97?
U.S.
Easy. How many parts does the first season of X-Men 97 series have?
Parts? Oh, episodes?
Yeah.
There's 9 episodes. 10 episodes.
10
episodes.
All right, now we're doing movie quotes. Marvel character quotes.
Oh, boy. Is it like Marvel or just X-Men?
I think they're all MCU.
Okay.
I choose to run toward my problems, not away from them. Because that's what heroes do.
Oh, God. I don't know.
Thor.
Is it Thor? Oh.
You were about to say
That's what heroes do.
I think
Thor.
I can't control their fear, only mine.
Hulk? The Hulk?
Nope.
Oh, God.
Wanda. Elizabeth Olsen.
No, my brother would be very good at this. He's very good at quotes.
It's not enough to be against something. You have to be for something better. These are tough.
These are very tough. Is this Captain America?
Tony Stark.
Oh, I was thinking Iron Man, and then I was like, oh no, Cap.
I'd rather be a good man than a great king.
Is this Black Panther?
Thor.
Is it
Part
Thor?
of the journey is the end.
Part of the journey is the end.
Oh my God, these are tough.
These are very tough. These are like quotes that nobody remembers.
Right? These are. It's not like the Spider-Man one that I said earlier. Oh boy. Oh. Nothing go. When you say, "Hey, he'll go right over his head," he goes, "Nothing goes over my head. My reflexes are too fast. I would catch it."
Drax.
That was good.
So easy.
That was a good one.
That's a very Drax quote.
Oh, okay. Love is a dagger. It is a weapon to be wielded far and away or up close. You can see yourself in it. It's beautiful until it makes you bleed. Someone you're going to have dinner with.
That's Loki?
Yeah.
Okay, when you said dagger, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Oh, it's from the Loki series. He says it, I think.
It's from the Loki series, too.
Yeah.
Yep. What'd you think about that Loki series?
It was great. I think Loki is my favorite series that they've done. Loki
Yeah.
and then WandaVision.
WandaVision, yeah. I couldn't watch the Moon one.
Moon Knight.
Moon Knight. I didn't watch She-Hulk. You got a pretty good She-Hulk. You didn't
Yeah.
mention She-Hulk.
I know. I forgot about She-Hulk. I did that at D23 a few years ago. She-Hulk I have
You're
to
showing
do
off the
again.
guns, too. You're like,
Yeah.
She-Hulk,
Which
someone else.
is
She-Hulk,
Oh, I
someone
was
else.
Gamora.
Oh, that's right.
I was Gamora then. But my friends were like, you actually got buff last time we saw you. We need you to do She-Hulk again. I was like, okay, I'll do it. Because I've been going to the gym.
That was so funny. I Love You 3000.
That's Tony Stark.
You better get that one.
Or Morgan Stark, because Morgan says that as well, his daughter.
Oh, that's right. Part of the journey. Boom. Let's see. A lot of Tony Stark, a lot of Thor. Who's the ancient one? Oh, in Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Another dinner guest of yours.
Oh, okay.
No man can win every battle, but no man should fall without struggle. No man can win every battle, but no man can fall without struggle.
I feel like Loki wouldn't say that. Spider-Man
No.
would say that.
Yeah, Spider-Man. Very good. Oh, but what is grief if not love persevering?
Vision.
Oh, you're good. Okay.
That one's a memorable quote.
Oh, yeah? Shoot, I could talk to you forever.
There's a lot of stuff that can be brought up that I could just talk about.
How do people reach out to you, or if you want, how do they find you on TikTok, or you want to share your Instagram or your email?
So my email is linked usually to my bio, so just my socials would be easier. So on Instagram, you can find me at Stefania_Sassano, or on TikTok and just TikTok really, or YouTube as well is at Stefania Sassano, because I do YouTube sometimes as well. That one's very hard to be consistent with. Very, very hard.
I know. I noticed that too, because we have so many platforms, and it's like you got to put each one up every time. So this time.
I hope that doesn't pick up.
That was loud. And pretty embarrassing. Like, yeah, hey, so how's your podcast? Flush. Be a good friend. I mean, this is Stefania Sassano. She is a content creator. She has 72,000 people.
172.
0.6.
Oh, 170. Okay, I was like 172. Hold on. I just had 176 earlier.
176. Oh, wait, 173 if you round
Just
up.
lost like thousands of followers between
Probably
then and now.
coming on the Friends of Feeney podcast. They're like, oh, boy. We're going to get some clips. Are you going to share some clips on your page from our podcast?
I mean, I could like usually what
Like
I do
a
when I
clip?
promote podcasts, I'll like post stories on my thing consistently. So,
Yes.
because I notice like with stories, there's a lot more people that tend to view stories, or they're easier to access to view instead of like posting. Because sometimes posts aren't like they're all over the place. Not like, oh, this was recently posted. It comes up on your timeline, because the timeline doesn't do that anymore. Instagram used to do that, where it's like it was in order of what came first posted.
All right, your listeners out there, you have any questions for Stefania? She's going to be with us next podcast, too. She is the production associate for Directline Media. I'm so happy that she was here. We got to learn behind the camera. She stepped in front of the camera as our content creator. She doesn't like internet personality, but I love it. I want to be an internet personality.
I've gotten celebrity as well, a lot.
Whoa.
And I'm like, I don't think I'm quite there yet.
Nice.
But multiple times.
Cosplayer?
Cosplayer, yeah.
Cosplay. I'm going to start cosplaying. When's the one at the casino? I want to go to that one.
In July, they usually do it.
How about I dressed up as Spider-Man at camp for a parade and snuck up on the kids? That costume is, you got to be pretty confident to wear that costume.
There's you learn from a lot of other Spider-Man cosplayers of what to wear with the suit.
Yeah. I wore it to my friend's birthday for his kid. I snuck on the kids.
Yeah.
I went, changed, snuck. John Script, his son, had a birthday script. I showed up with the kids. The kids were like, ah! They start chasing me around. I'm chasing them.
Yeah.
And then, like, I dipped away. But, like, you know, you're full suit.
Yeah.
So, definitely motivated to. I'm like, all right, maybe we should do a couple more push-ups and some little more sit-ups here, Feeney. Mixing a salad, buddy.
Yeah. There's a lot of costumes, just spandex, and you're like, okay, I have to do something about this. So.
Yeah. But it was so great to talk with you. We'll talk more. Again, if you have any questions, she'll be here next episode. We'll shoot her the mic. She sits right over there. Today, she's sitting right here. Stefania. You can find her on TikTok, Instagram, YouTubes, Twitters, all the good stuff. Any closing remarks?
I guess for people that want to like do cosplaying or content creating out there, just do it. I mean, there's no other advice I can give because I got to a low point to get to a good point. So. Yeah,
someone said, do it even if you get no likes or something.
Yeah,
or
it's
like,
as
just
long
do
as you're passionate about it.
You're passionate about it. You love what you do. You enjoy it. I mean, you're getting free swag. That's a perk.
Sometimes
you're getting
paid
a check
stuff,
once in a while.
Free, yeah. It has to be consistent. Sometimes it's not consistent with brand deals, but once you get there, you're in.
It's got to be where am I? Got to be consistent, creative, and networking.
Yeah.
3 keys. But again, Stefania, thank you again. On 3, we'll say be a good friend.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Be a good friend. Say it as Rogue.
Okay. Be a good friend, sugar.